Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with, Sorabji Opus Clavicembalisticum. Oy vey. It's 5 CDs lasting, 5 hours and 21 seconds. Don't forget the 21 seconds. It makes all the difference. Played by Daan Vandewalle, or Vandewalle, however you pronounce it, in whatever language he pronounces it in, really, really well, I have to say. This is a very good performance. You know, the Opus Clav, as we call it in the biz, was recorded previously by John Ogden and Jeffrey Douglas Madge. Ogden was a little bit overparted. He was past his prime technically, and you can't be past your prime technically when you play this monstrosity. And Jeffrey Douglas Madge was somewhat approximate in numerous places. And bits of it were performed previously. Michael Haberman did a couple movements quite well, by the way. And this thing is quite simply the best version of it yet. I'm waiting to see if we get some other versions pop up. But maybe Jonathan Powell, who plays the whole thing, will make a studio recording of it, if he hasn't already. I don't think he did. But this one is hands down the best. It's a studio recording done under controlled conditions, and this is not the kind of work where you want to have like spontaneity. There's no room for spontaneity in this thing. It's nothing but fugues and variations and passacailles, and then what is there to be spontaneous about? You want clarity, you want imagination for sure. You know, Sorabji is often at his best when he is being dreamy, when he kind of drifts about hallucinogenically, or when you can take these thickets of notes, and boy, are there thickets here. They even show you some of the thickets on the album here, on the discs. Wait a minute. I'll show you a thicket. Oh, this is a thicket. Holy cow. Here's CD3. That's a thicket. See that? 4 staves. That's all played by one person in 2 hands. Got it? That is a thicket. And you know, the truth of the matter is there are melodies in there, and Sorabji's inspiration is principally, it leads you to believe in this sucker, linear. I mean, it contains, let's see, 1, 2, 3, it contains 4 massive fugues. Yes. 4 fugues? Yeah. Fugue 1, fugue 3, fugue 4. Yes. 4 massive fugues that are in like multiple parts and they go on for like hours at a time. But there are interesting ideas buried in all of the, murk and chromatic sludge and all of that stuff. So you want to hear those. And I have to say, I am so impressed by the way Vandewalle makes you hear, or allows us to hear, where the principal ideas are and how they proceed circuitously through their roundabout route around all of the other things that they bump into along the way. The tempi tend to be a little bit slower than Madge or Ogden, but I have to say, I mean, if you're going to listen to this thing for 5 hours, does it matter if it's 4.5? I mean, really? Rather than 5? I mean, do we care? It's like the St. Matthew Passion. I mean, if it lasts 5 days, what difference does it make? You're going to be sitting there anyway. I mean, so you might as well take your time, number one. And number two, if you use the time wisely to direct the ear to evocative ideas and the more atmospheric moments and those beautiful, dreamy transitions between sections and things, well, it's worth it. Because you're not aware of time passing at all. You're just aware of interesting music happening, which is really the whole point. Now, the label that this is on is Passacaille, which is such an appropriate label for the old Sorab, isn't it? Because there's a Passacaille in here. Passacaille cum LXXXI81 variationibus. Passacaille with 81 variations. Oh boy. Oh, the way he plays variation number 62 is just to die for. Just kidding, folks. Yeah, if you're going to hear this thing, there's a theme and a bazillion variations, along with all the fugues, and it just goes on forever and ever and ever. And I wouldn't even dream of playing the whole thing at once. I mean, you can listen. I listen to like 15 minutes at a time. Actually, I play it on the train. and I pick the longest difference between two stops, and you tear out a chunk of this and you just let it fill in the time. It works quite well. Actually, it really does. You just hear this constant tinkering, but tinkling of the keyboard. But I do love the way this performance is lyrical, is linear, doesn't pound, doesn't sound stressed out all over the place, isn't trying to be self-evidently like sublime in a way that's like irritating, like you keep having someone hammering it into your head saying, this is a masterpiece, this is a masterpiece. It's not a masterpiece. It's a monster piece. There's a difference. And monster pieces can be fun. It's like Gurlieder. I mean, it can be fun just because it's so big and so ambitious and so crazy conceptually. I mean, that makes the whole thing an enjoyable experience when you're in the mood. I am in the mood maybe once every 10 years or so, and it's been probably that long since I last tried to listen to this thing and those other recordings, which were really, I think, rather unsatisfying. So I'm very happy to have this. I congratulate Mr. Vandewalle in undertaking this challenge and doing it so well and so thoughtfully. And with such finesse, not a word one generally associates with Sorabji. And I'm impressed. I'm impressed, and if you want to hear it, this is hands down the best version out there right now. What is to come, God only knows, but I really think we should let this sink in and digest it for a few decades before something else comes along. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.